1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's
a very good film on YouTube called The Last Descent, and a very good 15-minute YouTube called Buried Alive, the Nutty Putty Cave Incident. And anyone who's remotely claustrophobic, I tell you, if you watch it, you go into a shiver just imagining yourself being in a situation where you're stuck. You can't go backwards. You're in a tiny tunnel, thinnest of tunnels, and not to depress anybody, but obviously his wife was expecting, and the child, they lost their dad and the husband and so on, and it was a great shock to the family. But it's quite a well-known incident, and as I say, one worth thinking about what the poor fellow went through in his last moments. So yeah, not to bring the spirit here down at all, but it's quite an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, it's
you'd never get me in a cave. Like, you never would have before that, but I couldn't go down into a cave. Not really.
I think I recall that story off one of another podcast that I listened to. Not going to name it for obvious reasons, but it mentions that I think there's another point in that story where they opted that they may have had to break his legs as well to get him out of where he were.
They thought about that, but eventually decided it for various reasons it wouldn't work. Yeah, they tried everything. I mean, they literally thought of breaking his legs, as you say, of trying everything. They were drilling into the cave to try and put in stronger connectors and pins so they could really pull him out, but nothing they tried worked. I mean, they really tried, obviously, very hard for many hours, and they were very brave to be down there doing that in the first place, but it wasn't to be. And quite a thought to think this poor fellow, his body is just stuck down there for eternity, really, I guess.
Wow. That's a lesson for people, isn't it? Well, I wouldn't say that, because some people enjoy the thrill of,
I think there's a direct contrast to phobias as well, and I think it's a lack of being phobic about something. So, for example, again, short story, it was pretty recent. A young lad decided that he wanted to climb up this extremely tall tower, not realising that it was covered in grease, got to the top and then fell. But however, if there was some rationality in him saying, wait, hold up, this is dangerous, like somebody who has a fear of heights, that incident wouldn't have occurred.
Yeah.
So I think there's a contrast to phobia as of lack of phobia. I think some phobias, in my opinion, are irrational. I think is it called thalassophobia, where you're scared of certain materials that got holes in it, which seems very irrational to be scared of something like that. But I mean, who am I to say? I'm scared of water where I can't touch the ground. So, to some people that would seem irrational.
Yeah.
No, I mean, another strange, a very rare phobia, I looked at this some time ago, is a phobia of long words. And actually the word to describe it is literally about 30 letters in the word. I mean, you might say, well, that's logical. If it's a phobia of long words, then you make a long word to do it. But that doesn't quite make sense. You're frightening the person who is reading about it. I've often wondered why the word abbreviation is such a long word. It should just be shouldn't it, really, by definition? But it's the same thing. Yeah, but there is a phobia of long words. As I say, you name it, you think it, someone will have a phobia about it. And as I say, fear is quite natural. It's why we've survived as a species, to have natural human fears. But it's when it goes excessive and it affects your day-to-day life that it becomes a phobia. And there's loads of them, as we say. And most of us have some degree.
the leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Custis and fund the aim of everything Custis.
Them, as we say, and most of us have some degree of at least one phobia, as we've already said today, haven't we?
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah.
Now, what I'm about to say now, you can call me crazy, but this is the Alien Spaceship talk show. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So what if a phobia, like, all right, so for instance, this is the only way that I can sort of explain it. So if somebody's born blind, their other senses are heightened. For instance, their senses of hear, what's the sense of hearing,
Hearing, yeah.
and all these and also the sense of perceiving something. You know, a blind man can be somewhere with you. They'll tell you they hear footsteps or whatever, so they can feel vibrations and stuff like that. So it sort of heightens their other senses. What if somebody that has a phobia, like a really bad phobia, what if their senses is heightened in something else? What if they have a sixth sense? Yeah.
Like a superpower, something like that.
Yeah, like a superpower that we don't know about.
Yeah, I suppose that explains the comic story of Daredevil, doesn't it? He goes blind, and then all his other senses are heightened, and he can only see when noise is made. So like sonar vision, like bats have. So yeah, he describes the same thing. He loses his eyesight, but then all his other senses are heightened. Now imagine that's from somebody who has a phobia. I suppose depending on what the phobia is, could enhance maybe that phobia. So autistic children, sometimes they don't like certain noises. So I suppose if you had a blind autistic person whose hearing was super excelled and those noises would be then heightened, to be honest with you, I can't even begin to imagine what that would be like.
Endless, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
And here's where I got my theory from. There's a TV detective called Monk. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Leo Monk,
yeah. Played
by Tony Shalhoub.
Yep.
Anyway, you never seen Monk? Oh, you need to see it. You need to see it, bro. Anyway, he's got this phobia of germs. He's got this phobia of germs, that he carries a wipe around, like wet wipes. And if you shake hands with him,
make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything cast us and fund the